Hey, what's up? Ken from Palm Beach Dyno here. Today we have Robert Ferguson's 2019 Ranger featuring the EcoBoost engine. A lot of you guys have been interested in this Ranger since it's a new vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and do a full review, dyno, and before and after 60 times with the draggy application. This Ranger is slightly modified. It has some different wheels and tires on it. It does have some aftermarket charge pipes from AFE. Nothing really huge to make a power difference. So let's go ahead and baseline it stock, and then we'll do 93, and then we're going to throw some octane boost in it. So let's see what it makes stop. Okay, here's the first pull, and this is the baseline. This is very good numbers, and this is exactly why we do a baseline. There's often times where a car will put down a lot less than what it's rated at. So to properly gauge the gains, you have to do a baseline, or else you may not really know exactly how much you're gaining. You're just guesstimating off of the factory rating, which may or may not be 100% accurate. And in this case, at least on this dyno today, the factory dyno number is not very accurate, but in the case of the Ranger, it's making a little bit more power than what they're saying it looks like. 255 horsepower, 299 foot-pounds of torque. This vehicle from the factory is 270 horsepower at the crank and 310 torque at the crank. So at the wheels, you're going to get a certain amount of drivetrain loss, you know, and there's lots of arguments and debate about how much drivetrain loss there is in different transmissions. Now this car also, the truck, also has some fairly heavy wheels and tires on it, which typically costs you a little bit of power, but going by the Ford numbers and saying using a rough idea of say 15% drivetrain loss, it really should have put down about 230 and like 260, 270 torque. So we're already higher than what we would have guessed the factory would make. So let's go ahead and load our 93 octane tune and see what that makes. Okay, this is our first Ranger, and that one took us quite a few pulls to get right. Pull 17. 295 rear-wheel horsepower and 373 torque at the wheels. Now, as I said earlier, this truck is rated at 270 and 310 at the crank. It's putting out 295 and 373 at the wheels. Tremendous improvement on 93 octane. We possibly could go a little bit higher, but whenever we're doing new vehicles, we like to be a little bit easy on them to start. So we're gonna go ahead and throw some VP octane booster in this and push the boost and timing up just a little bit more and crack that 300 horsepower number. So let's see what it really makes. Wow, check that out. 325 at the wheels, 393 torque. That's quite amazing. I actually got a pull that was a little bit higher on the torque. We softened it up down low. We don't want this thing to go boom. So 325, 393 on 93 octane with octane boost, and that's pretty much it. Now, we've got some more exciting things up for this truck that we just found out about. What we're going to do is, well, in this video, I'm going to take the truck outside and we'll go ahead and drive it like we do on our review videos and do some 0 to 60 times. But we already have the next stage planned for this vehicle. We're going to be doing an XDI high pressure fuel pump. For those of you that are not aware, all the EcoBoost vehicles from Ford use direct injection. Some of them use a hybrid system of direct and port injection, but the Ranger is direct injection only. So we can't run E85 in this vehicle, and that's why we're using octane boost. Now, you could run a blend of say E30 or E50, but that gets very difficult to track and understand exactly what your blend is, and flex fuel is not available on the Ranger platform, so the computer can't figure out the mixture. So it's best if you want to run an ethanol-based fuel to run straight E85, and there's really no question on the tune-up. You have a specific E85 tune and a specific 93 tune. Problem is the high pressure fuel pump does not output enough fuel to support E85, which typically is about 30% more fuel needed over 93 octane. So we're going to put an XDI high pressure fuel pump in it, and also do some testing and see if any other mods are needed. And we're going to reach for 350 plus on this setup on E85. Once we get the tune done on the E85, we will be taking it to the track. We're not going to take it to the track right now because the tires aren't really set up well for drag racing. So we're going to get some tires for it, E85, and do that. But for right now, let's take it outside and see how it drives. Okay, we've got the truck out on the road. Got the draggy all set up. We're gonna go ahead and see what this thing will do 0 to 60 with the tune on it. I've already got it nice and warmed up, so we should be able to pull right out on the street and see what she'll do. Being a two-wheel drive Ranger, we will leave traction control on. I think that's gonna help. Maybe we'll try one with it off, but I don't really think that's gonna work. We're obviously working against the tires that are on this vehicle. They're not really meant for 0 to 60 times. But what we'll do, actually what I'll do right now is we did a 0 to 60 stock. Let's go ahead and show you that now.
"30, 60, 60.
Okay, there you go, 577. 0 to 60 time in a Ranger with aftermarket wheels and tires. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. Now, the really cool thing is, isn't what this thing does 0 to 60. With this tune, it's so much more responsive. It's really quite amazing what this little 2.3 liter can do in a truck like this. I'm really happy with it. So we're just gonna go ahead and drive it around a little bit while I talk some more about it. Basically, the Ranger in the past, I had a Ranger. Actually, the Ranger was my very first vehicle. It was my dad's, and then he gave it to me. I'm not sure what year that would have even been. Maybe, I don't know, like a 1990 Ranger, something like that. Much different than this one. It was a worker type Ranger, it was totally stripped down, AM radio, that's about it. And going from that to this, I mean, I don't feel like I'm driving a Ranger. I don't even feel like I'm driving a pickup truck, but that's pretty common nowadays across all models. I mean, the F-150 is an awesome vehicle. This is really a refined vehicle. I mean, this is certainly not your typical pickup truck. Very nice inside. It's got all the expected things like a like sync and navigation and all that stuff, and that's becoming common across lots of different vehicles nowadays, but they certainly didn't leave the Ranger out here. And this is not like a mini work truck. You could use it as a mini work truck, but you can also use this as a very nice daily driver, in my opinion. It really does just about everything. There's been a lot of people that bring up, well, why would I buy a Ranger instead of an F-150? Well, this is certainly smaller than an F-150. I would suspect that as nicely as this one is appointed, an F-150 of with similar features inside would be significantly more expensive. So, that's the big reason. If you don't need to haul big loads, you don't need massive towing capacity, this is a great option for most people. And it's, you know, we've noticed here, we'll go ahead and do a little hit here. I mean, it just pulls and pulls and pulls, you know. It's not a, you know, it's never going to feel like a 600 rural horsepower monster, but considering I'm driving a brand new Ford Ranger with a tune, it's outstanding. The pickup is great, drivability is great, shifting is great. We've done some work to the shift points, of course, and to the tranny in general, but not a tremendous amount, but just enough to make it that much more enjoyable to drive. We are not going to drag race this setup currently because of the tires that are on it. It's a little bit of a hassle. He got rid of the stock wheels, so we're going to track down some wheels to drag race this thing with. But in the meantime, we've got a brand new XDI pump, direct injection high pressure pump on the way, and the next step for this vehicle is going to be a full-time E85 tune-up, which is going to make a big difference. Now, that may not be convenient for everyone if you don't live in an E85 area, but if you do, with this pump, you'll be able to, and we'll sell it as a whole package, tune, pump, everything you need to convert to full-time E85. You certainly can still run 93 octane on that setup. You'll just have two different tunes to switch back and forth. On these newer computers, flex fuel doesn't seem to be an option. Flex fuel meaning the computer will automatically adjust for the amount of ethanol in your vehicle. Flex fuel allows you to run, say, 93 octane, have a half tank of 93, put E85 in, and the computer will figure out the actual mixture of ethanol and adjust the fueling and timing appropriately. On vehicles that are not flex fuel factory, we can do that sometimes, a lot of the times, but it doesn't seem like we can do it on this or the new Explorer ST. Unless we're missing something, it just doesn't seem like the logic is there to enable. So the next best thing at that point is either an octane boost tune, which is what we've done on the ST and on this, because at any one point you can have, say, a half tank of 93, and you decide you want the high output tune, throw the octane boost in, and you're ready to rock. To run an ethanol based tune on a stock high pressure pump, you can't run straight E85, so you have to run some sort of blend, E30, maybe E40, E50, you know, and that really turns into quite a bit of juggling and math and being sure that your mixture is correct. They make aftermarket sensors and gauges where you can actually measure the ethanol, so you could do it that way. You could put the gauge in, put ethanol in it, let it mix up until you hit the number that your tune is for, but that seems like a whole lot of hassle to me. So the octane boost for a stock DI pump is my choice, or a full E85 conversion setup, which is going to include the XDI pump, the Palm Beach Dyno tune, and we're not exactly sure if any upgrades will be needed to the lift pump in the tank, but you know, that's why we do this sort of stuff. It's to be able to learn about the tuning side of it, but we also need to learn what other supporting modifications are needed as each new platform comes up. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Please join us for all of our videos. We do all sorts of videos for the people that are new to this channel. Please like and subscribe and share this as much as you can. The bigger the channel gets, the more we can do with this sort of stuff. But basically, you know, we do these sorts of videos, which I'm calling a full review dyno performance test. I don't have a name for it yet, but that's basically what we're doing. In this case, we're leaving out the drag strip, but most of them will have drag strip. We will take this to the drag strip after the E85 upgrades, but just not right now because that's happening like in the next week. We do those sorts of videos. We do dyno only videos, we do technical videos, we have videos about learning about different types of turbochargers, dynographs, how to read a dynograph. So go ahead and check out our whole entire channel if you're a car fan. Most of these new car reviews, if you're here and not 100% performance person, most of our reviews are going to be very unlike your typical car reviews out there. When I say typical, that doesn't mean they're not good, like Doug DeMuro. I think that's how you say his name. I'm a big fan of his. He does great reviews. In fact, I totally tuned a Ford Explorer ST, gave it back to the customer before I even knew it had massage seats. I found that out in a Doug DeMuro video. So those videos are going to be more detailed with the little things like the massage seats, and you know, I didn't go over every little detail of this vehicle because we're focusing more on the performance. Our reviews are angled for the performance enthusiast, and it doesn't mean it has to be a traditional performance application. A Ranger isn't a traditional performance application. We've got a video coming out on the Focus ST, which is a performance application, maybe not as much 0 to 60 road course type stuff. Excuse me. We'll also be doing when my new GT500 shows up. We'll do that one. If you guys want to see any other new car reviews in this realm with performance and all that stuff, if you're one of our customers, you can provide the car. All those sorts of things. Whatever you guys want to see, we want to bring it to you. People really love to see these review videos, so I want to do a lot more of them. Anyway, like and subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you on the next one.